Okay, this is the moment where I politely suggest you tuck your tail between all those legs, run away and let us pass without looking back.
And what reason could I possibly have for doing you a favor like that, little being?
Well, to save your ass, pretty much. You must have sensed that your time was near when I dusted your sisters.
They were never my sisters, insolent one, and you have accomplished nothing. My daughters are inferior to me in every way, as are you.
Ah, motherly love. I never got any. Basically, I'm making this offer to you out of principle, but I'm really hoping you're going to make me rip you a third one in battle. Those other two are for pooping, right?
So be it. It will be my pleasure to grant you your last request.
How fascinating. You are about to actually penetrate the realm of Lord Blackfrost. But do not fool yourself. You did not win your passage alone. It was the evil Lord himself who opened the way inside.
He's testing me.
Yes, and it would appear he now knows what to expect. This should be one of the most fascinating confrontations of the last several thousand years. I simply cannot wait to see the outcome.
Yeah? Well, I can't wait to get it over with. We're here. Blackfrost is somewhere at the top of those stairs.
To face an Ice Lord. A fitting end to the journey the Knight has taken through this war. At the moment, the Knight has no hint of doubt in the extraordinary abilities of his friend. If he uses them wisely, he will surely be victorious.
Thank you for your support.
As soon as his friend gives the sign, the Knight will fight with all his heart.
I have a few questions I need to ask you. You mentioned the Order of the Ember Knights. What is that?
It is the order that the knight belongs to. They are the surviving warriors and honored soldiers of other orders that were lost during this war.
Oh, so it's kind of the Order of the Orphan Knights.
This name does not sound well to his ears.
Right. So you haven't always been an Ember Knight?
No. He was first a defender of the Algander Islands. Then he was a Templar of the Order of Burgians, and then a Brother of the Rock, and then a Summer Tracker.
So all of those orders have been lost. That must have been hard.
He has lost many valorous companions in battle, and his heart is heavy with scars.
I'll bet. So what is the creed of the Ember Knights?
The knight has long searched for the answer. Now he knows it. To seek a glorious death and carry as many enemies as possible away with him.
That's kind of depressing. If you follow me, we should be able to find a chance for you to get your beautiful death. Just try not to commit suicide at the first available opportunity.
The knight will wait for this moment.
Let's change the subject. I'll leave you. Blackfrost's palace is at the top of these steps. It may get a little hairy. Are you sure you want to come?
Of course I do. Stop babying me. You will need all of us, including me.
Any idea what's waiting for us up there?
I can't be certain. Very few people who have entered the palace of an Ice Lord have ever escaped to talk about it. But I did hear a story about a man who claimed to have escaped from the palace of the Ice Duchess. He said the palace was not even in Vertiel, that it floated in a limbo somewhere outside the world. That's probably why he traveled more than 1,000 leagues between escaping the palace and reaching safe ground. Yet only 2 days had passed.
And you think his story can be trusted?
It sounded true. And if it is, then it's possible that we won't be able to come back once we've climbed these stairs.
We're finally going to meet an Ice Lord. How do you feel? Scared? Excited?
A little of both, surely. It's so incredible. I would love to be able to interrogate him, to understand his motivations, what drove him to reduce our world to a pile of ice.
I'm sure he'll tell you all about it.
I know there's little chance of that, but still, I would really like to be able to understand what drives someone to become a monster.
Let's just try and beat this monster. As for the rest of it...
I'm ready. Just say the word.
We're just a stairway away from Blackfrost.
We'll finally make him pay for his crimes. I can't wait to see him in the flesh and watch him die.
I wouldn't expect anything less from you. But now we are on his territory. Don't let your hatred blind you. I need you to be ready for anything up there.
Have no fear. I'll keep my eyes open before I open his throat. Tell me when you're ready to leave.
Do you know what's at the top of those steps?
But of course. My great age has not left me blind. It is the palace of Lord Blackfrost. At least that's what they call it now. Until quite recently, by my standards, it was named after its architect. A certain Kubler? Bakul? I can't remember for the moment, but in any case. This architect created the palace for the elves a couple of 1,000 years ago. I suspect he'd be most upset to see what they've done with the place. This Blackfrost fellow tore down one end of the building to build his home, and the rest of it is hanging over into the astral plane. Bulkarel! That was his name. This was Bulkarel Palace.
Is it dangerous?
Dangerous? Well, for mortals, obviously. But since it's been a few hundred years since I set foot in the astral plane, I suppose it could be an interesting distraction.
It's time to take care of Blackfrost.
If you're certain you've taken care of your affairs here, I can see no reason to delay the inevitable any further.
We've waited long enough. All of his defenses are down. The concubines are dead. We need to strike now before he has time to react.
So be it. Let's do it.
Ah, my new protege. So happy you could make it. You took your time about it, but I can see that you've made some real progress. Yes, you have.
Yeah, well, your concubines won't be progressing anywhere ever. From now on, you're on your own, and there's no escape.
Well, that was never my intention. I am in my realm here. You and your companions are my guests. Oh, it seems that you too have lost some friends along the way. How very sad. More than most, I know how fragile a friendly alliance can be.
The Knight will tear out your tongue just before he watches you die.
Let's see how well you do without all your slaves.
Very well. In 6,000 years of existence, I don't think I've ever had a day quite as interesting as this one. Vulcan, my dear, this was a fight that deserves to be included in the history books, and I will make certain that it is. You may count on me to tell future generations about your exploits, if there is a future, that is. But that, of course, will depend on you.
I guess that's what we're all fighting for. But I'm not finished yet.
Clearly, and that is precisely why we are here. Each Ice Lord possesses the means to gain access to the World Heart from his or her own palace. It would doubtless be prudent to borrow this one before the other Ice Lords have time to react. I would have loved to accompany you, but I fear your destiny is to continue alone. The World Heart obeys neither the same rules nor the same magic as does the rest of Vertial. What you find there will be exactly what you bring.
You mean I'm going to end up confronted by myself?
I hope for your sake it does not turn out to be a confrontation, but it is highly probable that what you find there will be familiar to you.
We'll see.